guys, what's up? This is KLA, Cloud the Wanderer, and I'm here with Luziver Habfeld.
Hello.
And
It's Hasfeld is my second name, but it has this German letter in it that looks like a B, but it's an S. So
um,
it's a bit weird. Don't worry about it.
okay, but how do you pronounce it again, though?
Hasfeld. It's a terrible
Hasfeld.
name. It translates to field of hate or hate field. It's a
Oh,
terrible last name. I need to get married, so I can change it.
no. Okay. We get the names that my name is the African name is Nuba, and it's
At least that sounds
it,
cool.
it
I
is
hope it doesn't. Does it mean
from what
something?
I've heard,
Or
huh?
does your last name mean something? Like, is that a word for
Yeah,
something?
yeah. It means like I remember I asked my father. It's named after a river somewhere in
Oh, that's cool
Africa.
though.
Yeah. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I seen you do an interview with All the Rage George Page. Shout out to him. And yeah, you was talking about bodybuilding and I also kind of not kind of, but I followed you on your YouTube channel. Yeah, I can't believe
Thank you.
that you. Yeah, I can't believe that you. And how long you been doing it? The YouTube channel?
I think 2 months now. I'm
2 months.
still kind of new to YouTube in that sense as a creator, but yeah, I think two months now.
Yeah, yeah. I see you make a like you make a lot of content, and then the like you get like a lot of likes too, like 490 likes, and yeah, that's pretty
Well,
good.
yeah, thank you. Well, I have a lot. I like to talk about bodybuilding. Is what I love more than anything else in the world. So yeah, I figured why not take my yapping to the internet and talk to the people of the YouTube.
Mhm.
And it's just fun to make content, talk about what I love. And also to the comments. I love reading the comments, actually. YouTube is weirdly social if you're a creator because, sorry, I have cat hair on my lip that got stuck in my lipstick. Anyway, yeah, it's really cool to hear people's story about it as well because some of the content I make is not, it's bodybuilding, but also because I come from a background of disordered eating and having been obese and stuff and hearing um, other people's journeys and stories and where they're at. And it's just, it's very nice. I like it. It's fun to kind of connect with people over similar things as well in the process. I hope
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm very rambly when I talk.
No, it's okay. I get it. You started off overweight, and you wanted to change your lifestyle, and yeah, I get it. Like, is it just like your video content? Is it like to educate, people that don't know about bodybuilding, or is it a mixture of that? Or
Yeah, it's a mix of all things, I guess. So it is gonna be. I just did a reaction video as well for funsies. Yeah, it's to share. Obviously, I wouldn't say education. I'm not like I don't see myself as necessarily an educator, but in a way, yes, because obviously a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about bodybuilding as well. So I would be happy to reach an audience that maybe haven't heard about bodybuilding or especially female bodybuilding and get the word out, so to speak. I did one video talking about how like a bit of like what happened with female bodybuilding and how there have been certain things happening where the federations tried to keep women smaller specifically and stuff, and a lot of
yeah, I
people didn't know
watched
about
that
that.
one. Yeah, I
Yeah, that
watched
was
that one.
yeah, I even found learned some stuff I didn't know before when I was looking stuff up for the video, and I was like, it's absolutely wild because you wouldn't get that for the men. Like, yeah, so I'm happy to share stories in that regard as well. I'm not yet, because I just started recently, I'm still figuring out what my format is. So far, I have done some scripted videos, which is a bit of a mix of telling my story and also talking about bodybuilding itself, female bodybuilding, and now I did a reaction. So, yeah, I guess there will be more content of that sort. And I'm also started vlogging, although I haven't finished the vlogging. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay. So I'm assuming, like, how did you started bodybuilding? Like, yeah, you was overweight, and like, what was the second step you did? Like, when you wanted to compete, like, and how was like your first competition, your first show was?
Okay, so first, so I was overweight, then I lost the weight, but then I also got into other unhealthy lifestyle practices, let's call it that. And I was like, man, I can't continue living like this. I need to get my shit together. And I was looking up fitness. Like I was literally just like, oh yeah, how to get fit or something. And I came across some documentaries on YouTube about female bodybuilding. And it was like a light bulb went off in my mind because for some reason I thought you just had to be born a bodybuilder or you needed some innate inherent quality to be a bodybuilder or something. And then when I watching these documentaries, I understood, hold on a minute. Anyone can just, you can decide what you look like. You can build your body however you want. And anyone can do that. I was like, sign me up. Okay, cool. That's it. That's it. It was that. It was love at first sight. And since I watched these documentaries, I was like, okay, how do I do this now? And went from there. And at first, I was just trying to build a routine, learn how to diet before I ever went into the gym, because from what I gathered, I understood that that is the very first thing you probably should be good at. And then eventually went to the gym. Didn't have a coach at first. Struggled finding one, and then I found one of my favorite YouTubers at the time that I found in the process of trying to learn about bodybuilding. She moved to the city that I live in, and I got to work out with her, and she eventually became my coach. That is Chikara Transformations, aka Lona, and she also then helped me by coaching me, and she put me on stage. And once I had a coach, it was obviously much easier because then you don't have to do any of the hard thinking, the trying to objectively look at yourself in the mirror. Like it's actually pretty easy to be a bodybuilder if you don't need to, if you have a good coach, you need to don't need, really need to do a lot of thinking and know much, as long as you can follow on as well. Let's put it like that. um yeah, and then I started competing because I mean that was always the goal since, yeah, since I saw bodybuilding was a thing I could do. I was like, that's it.
Okay, and like, what you was doing, like women's physique?
Yes, but not immediately. First I did
Oh,
wellness,
okay.
and then
Oh,
I
you did
switched to
wellness.
women's physique.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did wellness, right?
yeah. I don't have the
Okay.
genetics for that, but I did it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I got a clip of you. Yeah. So,
And
so
made a
yeah.
little transformation video there.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Like you yeah, I mean you wow, you looked it nice as a wellness competitor. Like why you switched to wellness? I mean to wellness to physique.
I don't at all have the genetics for wellness. It was
Mhm.
extremely difficult. So I've pretty much never trained my arms. They Even before I ever went to the gym, I had quite big arms. And when I was doing wellness, it was very difficult for us to try and keep my upper body proportionately small. And I always struggled building legs and ass. So basically the opposite to what a wellness athlete should be. And then I also don't have the cool quad insertions that you see most wellness athletes that make it somewhere in the sport have. I'm not that blessed in that regard. But besides that, I always liked the bigger girls that look like the Dragon Ball characters and stuff. And when I mean, yeah, I realized I do have very top heavy genetics. And ultimately, I'm also very competitive. I want to see how far I can take it. And it wouldn't make sense to be in a category where I don't have the genetics for. But also, I like eating a lot and I like getting very big. So I figured it is time to take the next step and get into women's physique. And here I am.
Mhm. I get it. I get it. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, if you don't have that genetics and stuff, it don't make
I
sense
mean,
for you to be in another
you
division.
can force it. I think if you, for example, if you, I mean, you have to like how you look as well. If I was for example, the same genetics and everything, but I wouldn't like being that big, I could obviously continue doing wellness and just try to force my body into that category, basically. It would be more difficult, but also probably I wouldn't get as far in the sport as I could if I played to my genetics,
Yeah.
if that makes
How
sense.
how
But yeah, I mean, like anyone can build their own body however they want, obviously. But when it comes to competitive bodybuilding, I think it's best to, I mean, if you want to be as competitive as you can be, it makes more sense to play into your genetics and pick the category that fits with what you can best achieve.
how big do you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm very happy with women's physique. I would not trade my genetics,
Um,
to be honest. Although it
um,
is like either way, I have to build giant ass and legs, and I'm doing my very best to achieve that. But I am quite happy with my arms are my coolest part. Like I have super cool arm genetics, if I do say so myself. I got the kind of short bicep insertions, so I always have like a little like well, not they're not super short, but it's easy for me to have a peak if that makes sense. I don't know.
yeah,
My arms are my favorite part. Yeah, but my genetics shine, and like I couldn't really show that off in wellness. It's not like you flex your arms. So,
yeah. Is there somebody in women's physique do you like besides the lady that you was talking about?
yeah, there's hold on, what's her name again? I forgot. I'm so bad with names. I follow all these girls on Instagram and I forget their names. But yeah, it's Mariana. Oh God, I cannot pronounce it even. She has an insane physique. She went kind of viral because she has a beard in the off season. Um, but
Oh,
she
yeah,
has such an insane physique. It's just like
yeah.
the proportions are, I don't know, they're just really nice. And on Instagram, I forgot, I don't know her real name, forgot, but on Instagram she goes by Small But Mighty. She was on the, I think she was on the female bodybuilding channel as well. She's like that has to be right now the nuttiest physique anyone has of the girls. Like she had the way her quads are dug out, like Small But Mighty on Instagram. I know that's the Instagram. Bruh, that is on another level. That is legit on another level. That is surreal. That is surreal. She does look like female Broly from Dragon Ball, but leaner. It's amazing, man. If like yeah, I think if I could pick a physique that I could like duplicate, even if that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of bodybuilding, to be honest, stealing someone's physique. But I think yeah, it would be either her or the and Mariana something. What's her name? The girl that
Yeah,
has the beard in the off season. Yeah, they have these like
yeah.
they're like aesthetic, right? They're it's like they still have like a waist, but they're like at the same time wide, and it just looks so powerful. I don't know how to describe it. It's just really cool. Yeah, it's like it's giving Dragon Ball energy. That's what I aspire to as well. Like I want that Dragon Ball energy, and I want to hopefully I want to try and keep my waist as small as I can, and then get like chunky, like
So you
wide.
more, so you mostly want to look like a superhero, like if
Yes,
I could say
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like a JoJo character, a Dragon Ball character, something like that. Like super, yeah, almost superhuman. I mean, that's why we're enhanced. If it was naturally possible, you'd have to kind of be superhuman in a way. But yeah,
yeah,
that is
yeah.
the
You, I
goal.
mean, you was talking about some of that in your video, like with the limited women competitors in bodybuilding and stuff, and you felt that women should kind of look extreme. If I'm saying it right, I don't want to misquote
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we want to, a lot of us want to look extreme, right? That's the, and I think that's the whole point. I mean, if we look at the men's side, right? Men's open bodybuilding, that is very extreme, but it's also from, at least from inside the sport, it's very embraced, and people love it, right? It's people what people turn up for, and people want to compete in that as well. And then for the women, that's literally what gets removed from shows, and then people have the audacities to say, "Oh yeah, it's not healthy, or we don't want a sport to represent it, or something like that." And you're like, "But is the men are doing the same thing? Like, can we not like if we want to, especially on the bodybuilding side, if we want to get like absolutely huge, why is that like a bodybuilding stage should be the place, bodybuilding as a sport should be the place for that, and that should be as equally embraced as it is for the men, is what I'm saying. Because there is always, even from inside the sport, there are always naysayers and people. I mean, you don't have to like it, but at least appreciate that we're all doing the same sport here. We're all sharing the love. We're trying to get our meat suits as huge as we can. Like, we should be united in this passion. Like, why are you hating on the girls just because they're girls, because they want to get huge? It's like, this should be a unisex endeavor and a unisex passion.
You know, I remember I wrote in the comments like on your video that like what's the name of this movie, Pumping Iron 2, the women, it was more of an introduction of how certain judges, they wanted a criteria for the women. They didn't want them too big, and Beth Francis, she kind of defied that, like she was big, and there was she was muscular, she was a power lifter and all that, and she was more bigger than the women that were competing at that time. And so there was this one lady, a woman judge, didn't like her look, and she thought that it would be like a real upsetting for women's bodybuilding at that time. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is, I think that was the whole plan of them not wanting the stuff that we see today with the fit model and the bikini. I think that was already planned, but they just didn't know how to go about it. If
The thing is,
if I'm
I think that there are two sides to it. One is trying to not let women get as big as they want to, like trying to be like, okay, we don't want the mass monsters on the women's side, but for men it's okay. And then there is I think the whole fit model thing is not just, it's not necessarily trying to, it might not even have anything to do with trying to keep women small or make the sport on the women's side smaller. I think it's just plain old cash grab, because if you can be competitive on a bodybuilding stage with barely any muscle at all, like if you let like anyone and their mom have that division, then a lot more people are gonna compete and a lot more people gonna pay and people gonna, I don't know, it's like, it's just, it makes the sport so unbelievably accessible to basically anyone. And I mean, there is money in it. So I think my conspiracy theory is it's just a cash grab. Set the
could
bar
be
for
that
entry
too.
so low that anyone can come in and give you money, I guess.
It could be
Because
that
I
too.
mean, yeah, it's not bodybuilding to me. I'm sorry if that's a an offensive take, but fit model is not, that is not bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is about visible muscle, and I think in the rules for fit model even said something as no visible muscle, no visible separation, and it's like we're talking about bodybuilding here. Like, that is not bodybuilding then. Bodybuilding is about muscle. What? I mean, if you ask
I
me,
don't know.
that's just my opinion.
No, no, no. You entitled to your opinion. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm crazy about it, but I kind of understand. Why they want to put it there. I think just for people to accept bodybuilding. I mean, like more, for people to attend more shows. That's how I see it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think if you have to, it's a similar thing that's happening with a lot of not just bodybuilding, but we see this in video games or with Warhammer. Don't get me started. Sorry, it's a bit off topic, but it's the same thing. They're trying to oftentimes make it more accessible and get a larger audience. But you have to think, what is that thing and what was it made for? If you have to change the whole thing until it's not even the thing anymore for it to appeal to more people, then what are you even doing? Like, it's not, is it even still bodybuilding then? Like, bodybuilding, they've always tried to make bodybuilding super mainstream, but maybe it might just not be super mainstreamable. Like, at least don't make bodybuilding something it's not, or like just for the sake of mass appeal. removing what makes bodybuilding bodybuilding, I don't think that's a good approach either. I hope that made
You
sense.
know,
I'm throwing a lot of words into sentences.
let me read some comments. You got all the rage George Page, Hey
Hello,
People,
hello.
and you got he says you just were genetic predisposed to putting on more muscle.
Well, certainly up
And
top and my upper body for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, anyone can. Oh, hello. Thanks. Anyone can
motivation.
put on muscle. Like some people, yeah, some people have great genetics and it's gonna come easier to them. But even on the women's side, if you really want to, you can put on muscle. It's gonna be much harder than for the guys. But that's just how it
Yeah.
is.
Let me show a clip of you flexing a bit. Yeah, you look really nice on this video. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was the other day. I think it was last week. My hairdresser did my hair, and I got a little bit dressed up. Felt myself. So yeah, sometimes I do make myself look pretty. This is especially in the off season is nice when you have a little more chunk on you and you look kind of more extra feminine, if that makes sense.
Nah, nah. Like when you first started bodybuilding, like your first show, like how many shows you been to so far?
Only two. I only did that one
Oh,
wellness
only two.
show and only that
Okay.
one women's physique show. Because after I've only been going to the gym for 6 years, and after I did wellness and switching to women's physique, obviously takes some time to grow the muscle that I needed to be good at women's physique. So that was a long off
Mm.
season. I think 2 years. It was yeah. So I think the first 2 years I coached myself. I was just training and trying to find a coach and just trying to build a decent foundation. And then I trained with Ilona for a while, competed in wellness, and then had that 2 year long off season, and then competed again in women's physique. And now I've had another 1 year off season, and now I'm gonna go again in October.
Okay. All right. What was your how well did you do like in when you was competing in women's physique?
I won actually. I was quite happy with the result.
Oh,
And I was a bit frustrated because I decided originally I wanted to do the pro qualifier afterwards, but I was considering because I really need more legs and really needed more ass. And I was like, well, I could do the pro qualifier, but depending on who shows up, like I wanted to be more confident in my physique. And then I decided not to do it. Um, also cost a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? I'll leave it for next time. And then, the pro qualifier happened, and the only people that showed up were the people I just beat in the other show. And I think and she wasn't really staged, and I was like, damn, if I would have gone, I would have a pro card right now. No. So I'll try again now. But this time I'm not gonna
no.
pussy out. I'm actually gonna do it.
Yeah,
And if
that's
I get
cool.
mocked, I get mocked. But yeah.
Did your family or friends were supporting you or you didn't
Well,
have that
friends are so
support?
I don't really have family like that. I came from foster care for the most part.
Um,
And but yeah, my friends are very supportive. I don't really have any detractors amongst the ranks. Yeah, like one of my close friends, sometimes he's a bit worried because he's like, "Oh, be careful with those PEDs." It's like, it's not healthy. And I'm like, I'm doing it with guidance and so on. But yeah, my friends are all supportive, and I am blessed and lucky to have them.
yeah. Like other than the YouTube channel, like how do you educate people on bodybuilding that have like this misconception of it?
Well, so far just the YouTube channel. Like I said, I just started doing
Yeah.
that. But I have my Instagram that I usually share my bodybuilding journey on, but that doesn't really have much of an audience outside my friends, to be honest. But yeah, that's where I talk about bodybuilding. But really, I hope obviously to grow my YouTube channel and share more about female bodybuilding, what it's all about, and encourage maybe some people to join in on the fun, get into the gym. maybe fix their habits with food and whatnot, and just yeah, spread some positivity and all the gym love.
Yeah, yeah. I could play some of the clips of it. I didn't I was watching some of the steroid the episode where you talk about steroid usage and stuff. I didn't finish watching it, but I was watching like the dating bot you dating as a bodybuilder and
Oh yeah.
this one about the play a little bit.
Presentation. That being said, women were rather small back then by today's standards, but then again, you can also say the same for the men. The sport and the people participating in it certainly have gotten a lot bigger over the years. In the 80s, we got our very first Miss Olympia in the form of Rachel McLish. The competitors back then had been handpicked. By what criterion, you might ask? It wasn't by how big they were necessarily. They were picked by how well they could represent a fitness role model for the average American woman. Even then, there seems to have been some weird double standard. The words average and bodybuilding don't really fit well together in my mind. I seriously doubt any Mr. Olympia was ever chosen based on how relatable and inspiring they might be to the average American man. I think it never would have crossed anyone's mind to do something like that for the men. But I guess it would have been very much expected, especially in the beginning, since back then, gender stereotypes were a lot stronger and much wider spread. As time went on, it seemed as this would be an issue that could fix itself, as women began to grow themselves bigger and bigger as well. It's just fair that when men chase extreme size to be the biggest and best and get scored well for it by the judges, women should be able to do the same and be rewarded in the same way on stage. Or so one would think. In the year I was born, in 1992, the IFBB made an attempt to feminize the sport. At the Miss International competition, a woman who was 170 centimeters tall and weighed only 59 kilos was awarded the first prize. Meanwhile, another competitor was exactly the same height, but weighed in at 73 kilos. A lot of people at the time felt that the judge
I probably should have added that in. But yeah, y'all can watch the rest of the video. Yeah. Yeah, that was well done. How you put that together. Yeah, like when you was born like 92, that's when I started paying attention to bodybuilding, like with the women and stuff. So, I
It must
used
have
to
been
get the
cool though to be
magazines.
there.
Huh?
Like I'm almost, it must have been so cool to see the sport develop. Like I got in so late and so recently. When I look back at like what happened and stuff, that's history, man. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I feel like I kind
yeah.
of
I
missed
mean,
out.
well, at the time, they it used to be on newsstands, and some of the bodybuilders, they used to be on talk shows and stuff. And after a while, like in the 2000s, people kind of gave it this airy eye type, because they didn't really like how the women look, because the facial jawline, and some would say that they looked like men. I remember a bodybuilder that, I was talking to weeks ago. She left because it was a lot of drug usage, and she didn't want to look like a man and stuff. And so she just kind of packed up. So,
I mean, that does make
yeah.
sense. After all, like virilization is very real. And if you want to compete at the highest level in as an enhanced athlete in an untested federation, then obviously you're not going to get around using probably a decent amount of gear. And people react differently. Obviously, you can't choose the side effects. There are some women who still look very feminine, who got very lucky with how their body reacted, and others that have a bit of a gigachad jawline and the man voice. I mean, my voice has also dropped since I started bodybuilding. But yeah, I mean, if there's still a place for people who don't want that in bodybuilding, like natural bodybuilding is still a thing. And I think that also deserves a lot more exposure than it's getting. because it's I mean it's still bodybuilding, and it just means that you're not taking any gear. It's just a size cap for those people because obviously your body has limits. But yeah, also, I mean, the thing also with the man face is a lot of people make this so, how do I say this? In a lot of YouTube videos about, oh yeah, women bodybuilder destroying themselves, they always take a picture of some woman on show day or before show day or somewhere in peak week, like with extreme skull face on top of everything. It's like my face right now looks completely different than when I'm in prep. Like you're gonna, you always choose the worst possible time. Um, yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's more clickable as well. But yeah, you do have, in prep you're not gonna have cheeks anymore. That's just how it is. You're gonna look like a skull, whether you're a woman or a woman or a man. That's just so. I mean,
Yeah, I
a
understand.
lot of girls still enhanced girls that have some virilization. They still can still look pretty female, at least in the off season. But yeah, um, nonetheless,
Yeah,
virilization is real and it's valid. If people, you don't have to like it, but still let us participate in the sport. Don't remove the categories from the show, please.
yeah, yeah. I've attended a few bodybuilding shows. I started like maybe what like 2 years ago. I was at the New York Pro, and I went to a couple of natural bodybuilding shows. So just to understand the experience of it, it wasn't too bad. You know, yeah. Like in your first show, like what was it like competing against other people? Like how many people were on stage with you?
The first show that well, on the show there were only, I think there were only 4 or 5 people or something like that. There were hundreds of girls backstage, but they were, I think, like
Mm.
90% of the girls showed up, they were bikini. So it was just me and like a handful of other girls. And one girl, she has amazing genetics for wellness. Um, she's decided she doesn't want to take any more gear as well. So unfortunately, she's not. Say unfortunately, but good for her. It's healthy, but she has like insane insertions. She's amazing genetics. Like her legs just like bubbly. When people have this balloon animal look to to their glutes and their quads. And I saw her backstage, and I was like, yeah, I'm coming in second, which I did. But yeah, she had very amazing, just very beautiful. Yeah, and it was magical. It was really cool actually to, after all these years, I've been constantly looking at like people competing and being backstage and stuff, and then it was so surreal to finally be there myself. And like, yes, now it's my time to step on stage. So yeah, love it.
Would you so like major so would you want to plan on moving to the States and compete, or you just focusing on where you're at in Europe?
Well, I mean, I'm not like I can't really like just hop around like that, but I mean, I
Mm,
want to see how far I can take it. Obviously, like my ultimate goal is I want to win a pro card and build a physique that can be competitive at the pro level. Like I am just so inspired when I look online and I see like the small but mighty girl, and it looks surreal. But to know that that's possible, that you can, like, something like that can be achieved. Maybe not by me, or maybe it can. I won't know until I give it 100% and put the work in over the years, right? But it's just, I just love bodybuilding and creating art. Like it's like you're forging your body into the most advanced, extreme version of itself. And it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I would love to compete in the States down the line as well. But I think it only makes sense when I'm like confident, yeah, I can compete at a pro level now. I can be competitive, and then I would absolutely love to come to the States and compete over there as well. And yeah, I just want to see how far I can take it, how far I can build my physique, and I'm very excited to find out if I have what it takes to make that happen, to actually build a physique that can be competitive at a pro level. But yeah, it's one of those things you won't know until you try 120%. And I
mm.
still feel like I'm kind of at the beginning of my journey, so I know what my goals
Yeah.
are, but I don't know if I can achieve them. We will see.
Mm. You sound like you're more of an artist than an athlete when you say building up the body. How do
I mean,
you
that
look
is
at
bodybuilding by
bodybuilding?
nature. Bodybuilding is like the only sport that doesn't require any athletic ability. So to me, it is almost more of an artistic endeavor. I mean, it's yeah, you go to the gym and you put the work in, but even that is like it's not like you're moving weight, you're not a weightlifter. Even that is like, you're lifting differently than a power lifter, let's say, right? And it's just this process of creation, like through your suffering, through your consistency, through all of this, and it's like especially in prep, it feels like I always thought when I was obese, I saw this on top of books and stuff, that iconic picture of this guy who's like with this I don't know what it's called, but it's like digging himself out. And in the prep, it does feel like that. It's like you've worked and built this thing, and now you get to dig it out, and that's what it feels like. Especially when it comes to the leg, that really feels like digging. But then like because that's all most women hold their fat till the end. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it is very artistic in a way, especially when it comes to posing. I mean, that is also an art form. So yeah, bodybuilding is yeah probably more of an art form than even a sport, to be honest. You're not there. That's the more I think
Yeah,
about it, the more it makes sense.
I usually look at it as a discipline,
Yeah,
than a sport a bit.
it is.
Oh,
It's a
well, a
lifestyle,
lot.
basically.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lifestyle of it, because everybody can't do it. It's a mental thing. Just
I
dealing
believe
with thought.
everybody can do it. I just don't think everyone wants to do it. But that's the beauty of it. Like anyone can bodybuild. It's just not everybody wants to bodybuild, but anyone can.
That's about
That's what I like
everything,
about it.
really,
There's no
don't you
talent.
think?
Huh?
Yeah, I said that's about everything, don't you think?
Yeah,
Like,
this is
you,
true. But the thing with bodybuilding is it doesn't need any talent. There's only like your genetics will decide how far you can take it. But to build a physique to be competitive at least at a local level, I believe anyone can do that. Like even if
mm,
you have pretty crappy genetics, you can still build yourself a decent physique if you really want to. There's nothing holding you back. So there's no talent because like if it's a sport, like you do need some talent and some actual skill or something. But like bodybuilding, again, especially if you have a good coach, you don't need to know anything, you don't need any skills. It's just pure mental power. It's about the virtues, your discipline, your willingness to suffer, all that stuff. It's just that's what I find it so beautiful. It's really like it doesn't discriminate at all. Like we're
yeah,
all equal in the body in the eyes of the bodybuilding gods.
yeah.
Except the genetic thing, which if you want to play at a high level, that really does make a difference. But besides that, it's like, yeah,
What
it's
about the financial
the
part of it,
oh yeah,
for you?
okay, that's the truth. This is the truth. And it reminds me of Warhammer again. It's like Warhammer is for everyone unless you're poor. Yeah. Bodybuilding is I was thinking about that earlier because I was filming my vlog and I thought I was complaining about the price of blueberries because they didn't have the frozen one. I had to buy. Then I'm like, I feel so stupid complaining about something like that because being able to bodybuild is such a privileged position because it's not a cheap endeavor at all. So I can be here complaining, oh yeah, I live paycheck to paycheck, this and that. But why do I live paycheck to paycheck? Because I spend like so much money on bodybuilding. And it's a pretty privileged position to be in, to have the ability to spend that much money on food, to buy all the extra stuff, to buy the EAAs, the pre-workouts, all that stuff. Because technically, like you can live without that, but I am choosing to do all of that stuff, right? And it's like it's a very privileged position. So yeah, technically anyone can bodybuild, and you can bodybuild with less as well. But yeah, ultimately, if you want a competitive bodybuild, that is very expensive. It's an expensive thing to do, unfortunately. But especially in this economy, but that's how it is.
Is this the only sport that you have done, or you done other sports?
So as a child and young teenager, I used to figure skate and did some martial arts. So
No.
sport wise. Oh yeah, we used to love like breakdancing and free running when I was a lot younger, but
Break
after
that?
that, no, because then I kind of got obese, and then I just the only sports I was doing were esports.
No.
So
Okay.
just
That's
again, also
cool.
not a sport, but just yeah, I think grinding out top 500 in Overwatch is pretty cool, but it doesn't really help your physique.
Um, what made you get? I don't know. I'll get too personal, but what made you get the obese, like overweight?
So it's like I made a video about that recently actually because I was thinking about the same thing because I was watching my 600-pound life and everyone has this like some trigger event, something weird, and I was like, what did anything happen to me? And then it hit me. It actually did. There was, I mean, I had kind of a, I don't want to like be like a sob story or something, but I did have like I grew up in a hoarder home and then I was removed from that into foster care. And it was just like a lot of bad stuff happening, bullying at school, whatever. And the thing that sent me over the edge to the point that I started abusing food as a coping mechanism was a guy that was stalking me. There was this dude from the trading card game store where I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh at that started stalking me for a while, not like super long, but that was kind of scary. And I remember then I kind of became even more reclusive and I'm even more into just trying to stay at home, playing my video games, ignoring the repeated phone calls and him coming to the house and everything. And I would just get into food and that just kind of escalated. And before you know it, you get pretty big. And then they had a thing at school where they were like where they what's it called, like a study or something. They had all the children and measured all their fitness stuff and they weighed us as well, and that's where I found out I was obese because they told me. I was like, oh no, that's not good. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it was at one point, when I was a teenager, I was like, I was overweight. I was like 215 pounds. And I lost the weight because I was playing basketball.
That's a,
Yeah, I
that's a
just
good way to use
like slowly.
basketball.
Yeah. I was taking like a lot of medical. I don't want to go deep, but medical medication and stuff. And I had to stay in the house at one point, and I was in a boys' home, and they told me I had to stay in the house a lot of times, and then for some reason I wasn't listening to them, and I just would go to the park and play basketball, like shoot around and stuff. I wasn't good, but I just kind of had that desire to just wanting to play. So
That's
that's
so
my
wholesome though.
obesity.
I, that's nice. Good on you. I'm just thinking, why wouldn't they let you play basketball?
Nah, I don't know. Well, they didn't want me to be out. They didn't want me at the time. I had some medical issues and stuff, and so you know, I was acting
Well,
up back in the day. So yeah,
but it seems to have been a good thing then. At least you got out and you did some cardio, so to speak. That's always usually a good
yeah,
thing for health.
that's
So
yeah, that's when I
cardio.
started. To taking I started working out in consideration. Just exercising. I still had a long way to go, but yeah, that would help. That's what helped me. At that time. So yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, that happened for you though, but at least you improved on yourself, worked
Yeah.
on yourself. Yeah.
I mean, stuff happens, like, there are definitely a lot of worse things that could happen to you. But yeah, ultimately, I did lose the weight, and then I was just for a long time not obese anymore, but just kind of overweight, and I didn't have the best habits. And then obviously, like I had a whole phase where I had a really bad and unhealthy lifestyle, and that's when it came to a head. And I was like, I literally cannot continue living like this. I will not make it. It's like this whole live fast, die young attitude only gets you so far, and eventually you have to decide if you actually want to die young or if you're like gonna get your shit together because yeah, the party lifestyle is not meant to last. It's fun while it lasts, but yeah, you can only take that so far. So yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
I found like you found basketball as your passion and something that could help you get your health into a better place. For me, that was bodybuilding because I have to change, I have to do something, and for me that was I love this. This is what I'm gonna do, and that passion has helped me in that case. So yeah.
Yeah. Like how's your diet? Like you do you eat the same food every day? I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, especially after my last show, I had a good while where I was just eating a lot of stuff. But right now, I mean, it makes sense. I'm trying to make the absolute most before I get into prep again. So trying to be as optimal as possible. So my coach has like I have no cheat meals, but I eat a decent amount of food. Like I have just been gaining weight slowly and steadily for the last few months. And yeah, just I eat I have yeah chicken, obviously, steak on rest days I get or salmon, and I eat skyr because they barely ever have Greek yogurt here, like non-fat Greek yogurt in the supermarkets close to me. So usually I get skyr, lots of oats, lots of whey. What else am I eating? Yeah, nuts, and I get olive oil, which was new to me. That is my old coach didn't have olive oil in me for me. But yeah, no, I cook with olive oil, which feels alien after so many years of not cooking with oil. But yeah, just pretty
Mm.
standard bodybuilding food, rice, potatoes. But it's good food, you know. It's like it's not boring to eat that, especially if you have like we live in a world now where you have so many different calorie-free sources if you want them. Although right now I'm just using Tabasco. But
Mm.
good times.
What's the difference between olive oil and like let's say Crisco oil? Like is it more like I'm assuming it's more healthier?
I am not super educated on the oil debate. I am using olive oil
Oh,
because my coach tells me to, and I trust my coach.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not qualified to make any statements on the oil
Nah,
debate.
it's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
I
It's cool.
literally don't know. I don't know.
Not at least look, it's better you say you don't know or than to say you act like you do know. That
Oh, yeah, too
just
many
keeping it
people do
real.
that. That's why there's
Yeah.
so much misinformation sometimes. Like I see people making some wild claims for content and stuff, and it's just like, what? I don't know. People will believe these things. In general, the beginner trap is so real. When I was there, oh yeah, how do I build muscle? I want to get in shape. 10 minutes later, I'm on the V-Shred body quiz, body type quiz, and I actually did the quiz. And I was just like, you know what? I should like just to make sure this isn't wrong. Let me just check this dude. And I put like V-Shred into YouTube, and then obviously all the videos came up with like that it's like the biggest scammer. And I'm like, oh, good thing I checked. But yeah, like I'm not immune to that because I didn't know anything. If you don't know anything about exercise and nutrition, you can be fooled so easily because you're just looking for information. How do you know who to trust? Like you have to second guess absolutely everything. It's a
Yeah.
minefield. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know it was that deep. Like
Yeah, if
yeah,
you
I mean
don't know
there's a
anything,
lot of
like I didn't know
misconceptions
anything.
on a lot of things. Huh?
Yeah, I mean I didn't know anything. So I was like, how do I know? Like I'm just trying to learn. And
Yeah.
everyone wants to sell you something, obviously. So then you have here the Liver King with his ancestral diet, and someone like telling you to just eat fruits and like I don't know, just all sorts of nonsense out there. So it's really difficult, like
Mhm.
beginners trying to sort themselves out and then get bombarded with nonsense. But it's the same with bodybuilding, like or with bodybuilding and PEDs. Like some people get turned off from bodybuilding because they have a really bad experience because they have a coach that they trust, and then they're maybe a bikini athlete, and their coach is giving them tren or like
Mm.
way too many PEDs or whatever have you, and they have terrible side effects, and then they're like, you know what, this sport is super terrible. I hate this sport, and it's probably maybe they would have loved the sport. Maybe they would have had a great experience if they had a coach that knows their shit and that has their best interest at heart and isn't just a glorified PD salesman. So yeah, it's just very sad when people get turned off to bodybuilding for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. There's this bodybuilder, her name is Hannah Hussein. And she started off like that, She told me one time that her first coach, made her use diuretics, and what she was telling me that it wasn't good. She later found out that that wasn't a really good advice for him to do, and so she did another coach. And there's a lot of stories that she was telling. She has a YouTube channel too, and she talks about steroid usage. And for people that don't know about bodybuilding, like
I'm
the
gonna check
down
that out
parts of
actually.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, really be like
that
that. I mean, diuretics are like a lot of people also don't know this. Like people think bodybuilders die from steroids and stuff, but a lot of the times diuretics because it's
guy's
obviously very
diabetic.
dangerous. It's very dangerous. Yeah, I've never taken diuretics except black coffee. Like
Yeah.
for my last show, I got to have black coffee. Worst thing I did was actually last time Ilona had allowed me a shot of vodka as well. So I had like
Vodka.
to dehydrate myself, I had a shot of vodka.
Oh, oh,
But
okay.
yeah, that's
Wow.
as far as I've taken it with diuretics is a black coffee and shot of vodka.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was until she told me about it. So it's like,
Yeah. The
okay.
thing is, you don't. I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, again, I'm just guessing here because I'm not a professional coach, obviously, like at all. But I would guess you don't really would need diuretics if you just before leading up to the show, you handle the salt and the carbs correctly in the water intake, and then ideally you wouldn't need diuretics, or if at all, maybe like a super small amount. But I mean, again, coffee exists. That's dehydrating. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a coach, but I would.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh, we got, hold on, let me see. Um, Andrea Shaw is a good example of femininity. Yeah, he loves
Bro,
Andrea
we're not missing
Shaw.
an opportunity to bring her up.
Yeah, I know that's it. That's it. That's his thing. That's who he loves. He admires her a lot.
He is our biggest fan for sure.
Yeah, he's being an architect of your own physique.
No,
Yeah.
actually, you're the construction worker. I was thinking about that. When sometimes someone comes up to me in the gym and then asks me a bunch of questions, but like difficult questions about my plan and things, and I won't be able to answer them. And I feel like, I want to build a physique, but I'm the construction worker. If you think of it like I'm in the gym, right? And this is the construction site. The building is the
Mm.
body, right? But you're coming up to the construction worker, asking them architectural questions. I'm like, bro, I came here to put one brick on the other. I'm not that smart. So yeah, I'm like, I have I'm the commissioner. Like, I'm like, hey, I want to build this body, but the architect in that sense is my coach. There's
Yeah,
always the coaches doing the architect. Although, I mean, there are bodybuilders obviously who are very educated, who even coach themselves and do very well. But yeah, for me, that is not the case. I mean, I try to learn as much as I can, but ultimately, when it comes to that, I'm quite happy to hand the executive power and the strategic power to someone who I can trust, and then I don't have
yeah.
to worry about it. And
Do you hang out with bodybuilders like as friends or?
yes, I have a very my very very good friend and former coach Ilona is a bodybuilder. And there are some people at the gym I talk to that are also bodybuilders, but besides that, I mean, I have a very small social circle to be honest. But yeah, she is well, actually, she's not a bodybuilder anymore. She retired now because she got a kid, which I'm very happy for her. But yeah, I am around some bodybuilders occasionally, but
You know,
it's
what about non-bodybuilders? You don't have like people that, you know, that's oh yeah, you did say that you have friends that attend your
yeah.
shows, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have non-bodybuilder friends as well. And I have my gaming friends because so in my life I've been moving around a lot. So my friends are kind of spread out a bit. So I grew up in Germany and I moved to the UK for 5 years. And then I moved to Singapore, then I moved to Greece, then I moved back to Singapore, and then I moved to Portugal, and then from Portugal I moved here to Bulgaria. So bit all over the place. And so my friends are spread out. But also some of my closest friends here, they're not bodybuilders. So sometimes they don't. I mean, by now most of them get it. Especially when I'm in prep and I'm just like I cannot. Prep is just you can definitely have a good social life as a bodybuilder if you want to. Can be a socially more, but yeah, in prep you're probably going to become extra hermit crab because I mean towards the end you're just going to run out of energy as well. You're not going to be wanting to socialize much. But yeah, the friends that I have, they are supportive, and even my online friends from the other countries and my gaming friends, they were very, very supportive. They send their love regularly. I'm very happy about that.
You said you speak Chinese because you went to Singapore?
No, I mean,
Oh,
no, I don't speak Chinese. I speak a little bit of Japanese.
oh,
Yeah, like, well, I can say like ni hao ma
that's
and
Chinese.
stuff in Chinese as well. Yeah, that's Chinese.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wakaranai. That means I don't understand the Japanese, but
Yeah.
I speak mainly English. I mean, speak
Okay.
German as well, but I started taking Punjabi lessons actually. I still want to, if I can spare the money again, if I have a flatmate again or something, I could pick up lessons again. Like Punjabi is such a cool language. It's
Oh,
like
that's the
Hindi
Indian
but better.
language, right?
Yeah, so you have Hindi, that's the regular Indian, and then you have
Yeah.
Punjabi, which sounds way cooler, in my opinion. It's kind of like smoother. It's not as goofy, if that makes sense. It's a very cool language. So I do want to continue learning that.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
bit of a
He
niche language to want to learn, but I like it.
he says the big part of bodybuilding is discipline, and most don't have the mentality of that part. Some like things quick and in a hurry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the delayed gratifications and stuff, but mentality is a thing you can learn as well. Like I have been for the most part of my life been extremely undisciplined. That was my biggest flaw for the longest time, like a complete lack of discipline. Um, so it's definitely something you can learn. Again, it's just like if you whether or not you want to. But yeah, people like anyone can become disciplined, but not everyone wants to be disciplined. And yeah, same with delayed gratification. That's a skill as well. It's like patience. That's something you have to learn as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like some people are probably predispositions to be better at those things, but it really doesn't matter. Like it's something anyone can learn and anyone can do and anyone can implement if they want to. It might be harder for some people than others, but literally anyone can be a extremely disciplined, like super on point, mega Chad if they want to, like Giga Chad person, like super locked in. Anyone can do it. It's just whether or not they want to put the effort in grinding out that quality of themselves. So
Yeah, yeah, you gotta have that discipline. Yeah, yeah.
and you
He
have to
did
grow that
answer your
discipline.
yeah, yeah.
It gets
He did answer your question. You gotta answer. Crisco is based on animal fats. Olive oil is plant based. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. My mother was asking me about getting olive oil. That's why I asked that question. I was like, I think I bought her something. Then she was saying that's not olive oil or something like that, and I'm like, what's the big deal about that?
someone
So,
was also talking about which oil to fry stuff in, and there's like
yeah,
different oils. There was some debate, and I saw online. I'm like, I don't know too much about oil.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It also says, yeah, obesity is a true battle.
It
I know.
is, yeah. I think
Yeah,
the one key thing that helped me defeat obesity was because you're never gonna, I mean, eventually you have that last time that you fuck up, and then you'll get through it and get through the withdrawal and everything, which my experience takes about 2 months of like just actually locking in. But what helped me was like when because for some reason everyone does this. When you mess up on a day, right? Or you do something you don't want, you get into this downward spiral because you're like, well, I already messed up, Now what does it matter? And then like one binge turns into a whole week. And it's just this self-pity. It's like the most valuable skill. And it helped me after a show as well once when I didn't go too overboard, but I had like a bit more than I was supposed to or whatever, to be like, okay, that happened. Let's continue normally. And just to be able to not take it so personally and so extreme and just like spiral over that and like get stuck on it and repeat this like mistake you just made in your head and then let it destroy you, so to speak. And just be like, you have to be able to take it on the chin and move on. And like, don't let it destroy you. And that was one of the best skills to have, because otherwise it's super difficult to break the cycle as well.
Yeah. What like when you decided to do bodybuilding, like what how did you start it off? Like in like eating the right foods and trying to work out. Like what the diet really? That's what I'm
So
trying to ask.
the best advice I could find, and that was really helpful, was make change something, but something where you're super confident you can do it. Like where like, yeah, I can do this indefinitely. So for me, that was, I'm just not gonna drink soda anymore, like full calorie soda. And then it was like, okay, I did that for like a week or two, and I was like, okay, now I'm not gonna drink eat takeout except for the weekends. So I'm just gonna cook at home on the weeks. And then I think it was I'm gonna drink only on the weekends as well. And then always like added like something small, because they add up over time. And like once you've done something repeatedly and it's part of your routine, it's not difficult anymore. And you just build up from there. And in the beginning also it was, I did like during the week, like just push-ups and lunges and things like that, and a bit of yoga every day after work as a routine to build that up. Like I didn't start going to the gym for quite a while, also because I was a bit scared of the gym still, and I still felt like I was too unfit to be there or whatever, which is stupid. Like in retrospect, there was nothing to be afraid of. But yeah, just building up small things, and eventually it was time to actually look at my macros and calories and learn how that worked. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually diet now and calculate my calorie intake and pick some normal macros to start with, and then figure out how to eat. It was literally just in the beginning, whatever fits your macros, because the goal was I have to stick to a diet, nothing else. Like not just learning to stick to a diet. And then eventually it was, okay, I'm gonna remove the ultra processed foods now and just have cheat meals on the weekend. And the real difficulty was then when when it was like, okay, I'm gonna have to remove sugar and ultra processed foods completely, because I knew that if bodybuilding, competitive bodybuilding is the goal, dieting has to be second nature. Being in a calorie deficit has to be second nature. Like you have to like lock in like this. Like this can't be a challenge for you. That's what I understood from it. So that was then difficult. That was when I started falling off a bunch of times. I think I did a video about that recently as well, because it's crazy. I don't know if some people are really affected by sugar and ultra processed foods. Like it is so addicting to some of us. Like it was horrible. It was literally like I have been through withdrawal from other substances, and that was the worst. That was the worst. I was lying on the floor crying because it doesn't let you go. It makes you angry. It's like you cannot enjoy life and you cannot be present unless you eat your damn sugar or whatever, and it won't let you go. And it's just so that's just there being miserable. And it feels like, oh, I just have to eat the Snickers, which would obviously turn into 12, because at that point that won't do it, and I can be at peace again. But
Wow.
no, and then afterwards it just repeats. And I had to, and I've heard this from other people as well. It seems like you have to go through it until you literally get through it and it goes away. Um, at least the what feels like physical withdrawal. It can't be, right? I don't know. But it takes approximately, like for a lot of people, also similar to like something like 2 months. And it does get better. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. But that was rough. And it's so ridiculous. Like my ex will come home and I'm there crying because I can't have freaking chocolate. Grown woman. But yeah, that's how it is. It's nice to be free of that though. Like I would never go back. It's so nice and freeing to not have to worry about that. Like I can live my life and be happy. Like right now, I have no cheat meals, no sugar, and it doesn't bother me at all. I am very happy. But also, I'm a bodybuilder now. I get to eat a lot of food anyway, so I eat kilos of food every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, it's not easy. For me, sugar. It can be addictive to for me. There's times I
Yeah,
overeat at one point. And then you don't feel too good. The energy, your energy is very low and stuff, and yeah. So
it's
yeah.
yeah. I've been tired in prep, but it's like even the worst prep tired is probably on par with the obesity post binge comatose state that you kind of get in on the couch for the next couple of days. It's so hard. It's so hard to get up and like do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like who have never been obese don't know this, but that's why I say people who have been obese probably make great bodybuilders because if you have been
Mm.
through that, like if you dieted yourself out of obesity, if you've changed your habits from being a carb comatose couch person for a long time and you have been managing to get into the habit of doing physical activity, then being in prep and dieting and being in prep and getting yourself off the couch to do your cardio was not even going to be hard for you at that point. I mean, to me at least, it was that hard to do it back then. So that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really really difficult. You know.
Yeah. He
But yeah, sugar
says,
is still like to this day. I won't have like ultra processed foods or like usually when I get cheat meals, I'll just eat more like real food or something, like actual burgers, not like McDonald's. But sometimes I will have like Doritos and stuff. I've had, I think, twice last year. But I only will eat stuff like that if I'm in the right headspace. If I know I'm not like gonna, if I can, because it is like for some of us, it really is a substance. Like like I think about it the same way when people quit alcohol, right? Because they have for them it's really difficult to keep that under control. They might have to think twice before having a drink as well. And to me, it's like that with Doritos. It sounds silly, but that's how it is. Except this stuff is sold and marketed to children, which is even crazier. But yeah, the whole thing is just
mm.
messed up with the food industry in general.
So you eat like Doritos like once in a blue moon?
Yeah, and it's very rare. I think I
No.
had yeah, I had Doritos twice last year. Um,
Okay.
I like Doritos. As far as ultra processed slop goes, Doritos gotta be up there for me. And like, but also when you actually learn about how ultra processed food is made, it is so disgusting and revolting. So it's very rare. But yeah, Doritos, I'm like, I'll take the damage. Nice bag of
Yeah.
Doritos. They engineered them
You-
so well, even like the crunch, the texture, and it does that thing where they call this, I think, vanishing caloric density, where it feels like it kind of dissolves on your tongue. So in your brain, it's not even your brain doesn't register that you have actually eaten something. That's why I can eat so much because you're never gonna get full. It's just
yeah.
fun. I love gaming. I love sitting down and like playing video games and just like snacking on like stuff like that. Like that I could do forever. But obviously it's something you shouldn't do. But yeah, every once in a while, that is when I have a big cheat meal or after show and I get to have more cheat meals here and there, I will get my ultra processed snacks and I will sit down and I will snack away while I'm gaming and it hits good every time.
Yeah. Um, Sugar can be as addictive as any drug. Processed sugars are the most, just like coming down from a high. Yeah.
It really is. It really is. I just wish they were. I don't know if there are studies because some people seem to be so much more affected than others. Like some people seem to have no problem around any food really, and they're just fine. And then people like us will be just super impacted and like
Mm.
at risk of destroying themselves over it. It's just yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah. He asked another question. So, how is things going working with the ladies of Team 4 Pro?
Very well. I feel very well taken care of. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm being fed very well, and things are going good. So yeah, only good things to say. Um, yeah. It's
Mhm.
still crazy to me that like I have a legend like Helen Trevino being my coach right now. That is so cool.
Yeah,
It was
that's
really
cool.
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, he did an interview with not too long ago. He did with Irene Anderson, Ella Trevino, and Gina, I forgot her last name. But yeah, they was talking with him and stuff. It was good interview. Yeah.
It's amazing what they're doing, that they're helping us girls out with coaching. Because obviously, like as things are right now, I could not afford her as a coach. That is not
Mm.
in my budget. So it is really great that they're giving this opportunity to us girls, because like opportunities for women, especially in the bigger classes, are just much more scarce. Scarce, is that how you say it in English? Much rarer than they are
Mm.
for the men as well, because again, the sport isn't exactly as popular. Like women's bodybuilding is not as popular with the general crowd as
Yeah.
bodybuilding, which is fine. Obviously it's not everyone's bag, but yeah, just makes it more difficult to.
If you had the power to make it popular, would you make it like a mainstream sport?
I mean, if it was possible, yeah, of course, because I love bodybuilding. I want to share this with, I want to get everyone excited about this if I can, like if it is possible to make bodybuilding mainstream, as people have tried for ages, of course. And I would love to. So the thing is, actually, I think social media might have had a bit of a negative thing about bodybuilding, because, like you said, bodybuilders used to be such an attraction. They were in the interviews and this and that, and now you pop open social media, and especially with the explosion of PEDs, like you just get bombarded with absolutely insane physiques everywhere. It doesn't have the same magic, the same wow factor anymore, because it's just it takes a lot more these days to excite people, and it's just not like someone said that back in the day the girls could finance their competing with photos. Like after the show, there'll be photographer there, and because it's not like there's social media, you can just look up whatever physique you want. They get paid good money to have a photo shoot and whatnot, and that's obviously like that's not really a thing anymore, unfortunately for me. But yeah, it's just yeah. Through I mean, social media is a great thing, but it's also just it's not. It just had obviously consequences for the sport as well, and
Yeah.
yeah. That is just
I
this. It
wanted
is how it is thing, I guess.
Yeah. I wanted to add, they also had like negative things too back in the day. It wasn't just, positive. It had some negatives. They would ridicule some bodybuilders too when
Oh
they be
yeah,
on the talk shows and stuff. Yeah, so
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, things weren't as progressive. I assume if you're like a woman that is already virilized, even if you're
yeah,
like cool with it or whatever, I bet people did have a lot stronger opinions and a lot less understanding for what you're choosing to do. I imagine.
yeah. But it wasn't. But now, see, back then, you people knew about it, but now, rarely people don't even talk about it. So in mainstream, so that was the difference and stuff.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
bodybuilding is an extreme sport and an extreme endeavor, so it is kind of difficult to be mainstream, I guess. Anyway.
yeah,
But bodybuilding is kind of bigger. I mean, again, through social media, the positive thing there is it is bigger than, and more, I would say more people are aware of it, at least, than ever
yeah.
before.
Social media,
So there
yeah,
is that,
social.
like, yeah, so it's
I,
like,
I didn't mean to cut say talk while you was talking. I was trying to say social media. A lot of people you know are getting into it and stuff. So yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's like, it's a double-edged sword, I guess, with the social media. Ultimately, it's always a very good thing for bodybuilding, but also can be a difficult thing. And there are some things that obviously don't work
yeah,
as they used to anymore.
yeah.
But then again, it's like, especially with the food, I was like, man, can you imagine? I was watching a Jake Cutler interview when I got started, and he was talking about how he used to stand in the kitchen and like separating egg whites for hours. I'm like, bro, I'm so happy I live in a world where it's just like, they just sell egg whites and stuff at the store, and the protein powders, they come in whatever flavor you want, and all this stuff, calorie-free sauces, this and that. And I'm just imagining bodybuilding back in the day where you didn't have that, and there were no Diet Cokes. There were no like the protein powder that you got probably tasted like ass, and then if you wanted egg whites, you just probably had to stand there for hours. Part of me wants to, if I ever have because it makes it more expensive. If I ever had the the money to buy it to go through so many eggs, it would be kind of interesting to try and do a prep, but pretend it's like the 70s or something, and like pretend there is all that stuff doesn't exist. I don't know, like that's a bit hardcore, but it would be so cool to get that experience though. Because I watch
Yeah,
all these old movies, I'm like, man, that is hardcore. That is suffering. Like I can reach for Diet Coke whenever in prep I have a sweet tooth. Like back in the
I
day,
don't.
that wasn't.
I mean, I do like egg whites at times. I don't really like always eat eggs and stuff. I like probably like for soda, I'll drink ginger ale mostly. I don't really do Diet Coke as much. Maybe like sometimes. Yeah.
You're right.
You did like another I have another clip of you talking about dating as a bodybuilder. I could play that a bit. And so,
Anyway, since my perception of bodies has changed so much, and personally, I'm only into men that are a lot bigger and a lot stronger than me. So, yeah, that seems to have reduced my dating pool to a very small section because in this day and age, most people don't even work out. And let's be real, like attractiveness and a face card that doesn't decline gets you through the door. That's the baseline. It's something else that might be different for any one of us, but yeah, that's the thing that'll get you through the door. But it isn't just about looks. As a bodybuilder, I subscribe to a pretty extreme lifestyle, and I would need a partner whose lifestyle is similar enough for that to function. You may have heard it before or experienced it yourself that a relationship will fall apart because of bodybuilding. That has happened to me before as well. I was together with my partner long before I ever set foot into a gym. But when I started bodybuilding, my lifestyle changed, and things like ordering takeout all the time or going out for dinner regularly or spending an entire weekend on the couch or drinking alcohol, those weren't things I was interested anymore, wanted to do. And it gets really, really kind of sad and difficult for both parties when you're not living your life together anymore and just kind of next to each other at best, and that can be extremely stressful. Bodybuilding isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle, a philosophy, and something that is extremely important to me. I couldn't imagine being in a relationship with someone who isn't at least somewhat compatible with that. Especially when you're doing a prep and you're living with a partner who hasn't experienced that before, been around that, it can be really hard on them. Especially in the later stages, your energy goes, your sex drive goes, you struggle to focus, you might sometimes not want to hold a conversation and just lie there and stare at the ceiling, and you just kind of turn into the shell of a human being to some degree. Although it is kind of like a very cool experience with yourself to go through prep, but it can be very.
somebody had said that um bodybuilders are antisocial. Like, do you agree with that?
I would guess a lot of us are, but it depends on, like, you can be social, like generally being social in a dating and yeah, so like I would be a lot more social if the people I want to play Warhammer, if they would play more often on the weekends, for example. But I'm also kind of happy not being super social at the moment. I'm kind of just happy chilling with my cats. But yeah, it depends on your preference. Like you can the thing is with bodybuilding, the gym and your diet will always take priority. And that's just how it is. That's what you do when you're a bodybuilder, right? And it can be difficult for people to understand that or get behind that when that's and again in a dating sense, like I would want to be with someone who has the same priorities ideally in that sense. Otherwise it really is difficult. Like I said in the video, I've had a relationship before and it was just it was just not working out. It really got really difficult, and we were just ending up holding each other hostage, so to speak, in a situation where we could probably go out and try to find someone more compatible. Because yeah, it's also like kind of hurtful. Like when I was in my first prep, and he wants to spend time with me. Obviously, he wants to do this and that, and I'm just not capable, and nor did I want to because all my energy was 100%. All my energy and attention was focused on prep, and that's just it's difficult to be around if you don't understand it, if you don't even like enter the gym, and it's just it's such an extreme thing and big part of one's life. It is a lot easier to be with someone if they are not only on board but they share it, so to speak. One of my last ex, he said something where that's where I was like, oh, I'm falling for this dude. He said, I don't know, we were talking about religion or something, and he just said, yeah, bodybuilding is my God and the gym is my church. And it reminded me of something an old friend of mine, she's Muslim and she's very devout, and she said she would only ever date another Muslim man. And it kind of I was like, damn, it's a stupid comparison, right? But it kind of feels like that with bodybuilding and the gym as well. Like I would not want to date someone who isn't as devoted to the cause.
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I appreciate your the video that you did on it, because a lot of guys, they fantasize on being a bodybuilder, they got that fetish thing, that fetish, there's a fetish side to women bodybuilders, and but they don't see like I don't think a lot of them are aware of what that consists of being with a female bodybuilder. I remember a guy he shared about I don't think he was a bodybuilder, but he dated a female bodybuilder, and he was talking about the negative aspects of it. And I think the only thing he talked about was really good was the sex. That was it. But after that, it was just ugly for him. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what people are thinking. Like, do you think you just have this body magically? Like, it takes like to act like actual like bodybuilder body, it takes a lot of effort to build and maintain that. So
yeah.
yeah, maybe some people just like the idea of a bodybuilder and not really.
A lot of women bodybuilders are attractive. Like, I'm not gonna pretend, act like they not. I mean, a lot of guys they find them physically attractive. It's just the muscles and the point of you guys looking like superheroes and stuff. And it's like when people do notice that you're attracted to these type of women, they give you these upside down smiles. Like they frown at you a bit. I've experienced that a little bit. And then you kind of like encounter some of these women, like even in the bodybuilding shows, and it's like these are the women I really like. Because I think it's like the personality at times. You see a little bit of it. Some of them, like you even just look at them to say hi. Some of them they kind of turn away. A little bit. Not everybody like that. Some of them they'll speak to you, but I've seen a little bit of it. But there's people that they they have their experience with female bodybuilders is like unpleasant
I
a
mean,
bit.
the thing is, we're all individual humans as well, right? You can like
Yeah,
have a selection of extremely jacked people with completely different characters and completely
yeah.
different mentalities, and even completely different ways of bodybuilding, ultimately. So it's like, yeah, obviously there is the body, but there is still actually a three-dimensional human being living in there. So for me, also with dating, it's like, yeah, I'm looking ideally for a man that also is, like I said, bigger than me, definitely stronger than me. Ideally, also into bodybuilding and all that. But then besides that, it also has to be someone who is like who I vibe with, like where the vibe matches, where the personality gel, where the personalities gel, and like you have to have chemistry and all that stuff. So yeah, someone could look maybe super attractive. I'm like, damn, that dude's amazing, right? And then he opens his mouth, and I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah,
So it's just it's an extra added difficulty. And I imagine if you're a man who likes very muscular females, they're also like not at all easy to come by. I imagine it must be like then equally difficult trying to find someone who you vibe with, who also fits the kind of like, well, what you're attracted to, because like you're attracted to what you're attracted to. It also seems to be like a lot of the skinny guys are into the really big women, but there seems to be this imbalance because most of us big girls are not into that. But a lot of men
yeah,
seem to be. So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Somebody was telling me that too. They mostly they want people that that work out majority of times and stuff. So yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I would want to be with a bodybuilder chick. Simple fact that I'm not in that lifestyle too. I do, and if I do exercise, it's different what I do. So, and I
considered
had a trainer
bodybuilding.
before, huh?
Have you considered bodybuilding? Getting like trying it out yourself, like properly getting
Well, I
into it?
mean, there was
It's
one
fun.
time. I mean, there was one time when I was a kid, but you know, I don't know. Like I've had a trainer before, but it didn't work out. So with
Oh,
money and
maybe
all
it's
that
time
type
to
of
give it
stuff.
another shot. Maybe it's time to give it another shot. Maybe you see you like
Yeah,
it.
no. I, I'll get back. How about this? I'll get back to you on it. Because I do different things too. Also, I do like meditation exercises and stuff. So and it's not good for me to be so stiff a bit when I do them, and it's a lot. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. How about that?
Okay, okay.
Uh-huh.
This is what I do. I coerce everyone to get into bodybuilding.
All right. Nah, it's
It's the
nothing
most
wrong with
fun thing.
that.
Oh, I don't know. Everyone needs a little bodybuilding in their life. It's so much fun. I love it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, like imagine me on stage and stuff, but I
Yeah,
don't
there
know.
you go. You don't want to think about it. Think about it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get back to you on it. This this is kind of weird. You rest in peace to Sachi Butler a few days ago. Hello Trevino used to train her. It must have been devastating for her. I don't know. But
Rest in peace.
he
By the way,
yeah.
I only
Uh
have a few minutes left because I still have to
yeah.
get a
I
lot
don't
of
want to
steps
take your
in.
hostage.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. But yeah, I hope you do well in your next show. And anytime you want to talk about your experience on your show, yeah, you're happy to come and we talk about it. But I'll let you go.
Thank
You got
you.
any shout outs or anything like that?
Um, well, shout out to Halle Trevino, obviously my coach, and shout out to Chikara Transformations because she has ultimately forged me into the bodybuilder slash person I am today. So, yeah, shout out to her, and I don't know, shout out to my cats. They're awesome.
All right. All right. Shout out to the cats. All right. Have a good workout.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day, or evening. I
All
know.
right.
Wait, I think it's morning for you, right?
It's after. Well, it's getting ready to be 12 right now. 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. Then
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your day and consider bodybuilding.
Okay. All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye.